Should I keep my stress from my kids? Short answer, absolutely. The longer answer, oh man, so I get the pleasure of working with kids. I love it. It's like the best job ever. And then of course I work with their parents, and I love it. It's also the best job ever. Parents are very interesting because every parent means well. And when I say means well, what the parent does is they take their paradigm. So a paradigm is how you see the world. So paradigm and schema. So paradigm, paradigm, and then schema, schema. So those are broad terms for how you see the universe. It goes to me. It's not necessarily related to personality. So personality is those tools that you use to understand the world. Schema is how you see the world, and some folks see the world in black and white or wonderful in every way or that sort of thing. Well, when it comes to parents, they have their own schema, and in general, parents want to protect their kids at all costs, which totally makes sense. Parents do not want their kids to be uncomfortable. Also makes sense, complete sense. Parents want the best for their kids. They want their kids to learn what they need to learn as efficiently as possible. Also makes sense. Well, the hard part about being a parent, especially during the pandemic or especially in this particular decade, is that there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of distractions, there's a lot of pressures, there's a lot of kind of upheaval and unrest, and there's a lot of reconciling and reckoning that we're trying to do as a human race, as a participant on the planet, as a culture, and dealing with all the stuff that's happened in the past with race and gender. So there's all this stuff going on. And so those are all technically stressors. A stressor is something that's kind of outside, that's acting on you, that you have to react to. And so as a parent, that's really hard. It's really hard to try to do all those very noble things and make sure that your kiddo is not uncomfortable while you're also fending off and managing and dealing with all this extra stuff. And so there are going to be times, y'all, where those extra things get through your awesome bubble of deflection. Is gonna Some of them come soaring right on through. For example, at some point you have to send your kid to school, right? They can't just sit at home all day looking at you unless you homeschool. But even then, you're going to have to make them do things that they probably don't always want to do. And managing that stress, because your kiddo is stressed and now you have to manage your kiddo being stressed, and that's getting through your bubble. And so I think, and I hope, and I try to coach parents on how to manage their stress level and their expectations so that too many things don't get through the bubble all at once. Because kids are, I call them microphone sponges. They're sponges because they soak up everything around them. So if you're like stressed out and ticked off and oh my God, right, they're gonna feel it, and then they're like microphones. They amplify whatever is around them. So if you're stressed out, they're gonna soak it all in like a sponge, and then they're gonna amplify it. And for a lot of my parents, because y'all are hilarious, a lot of my parents are like, "Oh man, they seem really stressed out. Where are they getting that from?" And I'm like, "You, right?" So this is the time to really take a self inventory and go, "How am I contributing to this?" Because they're probably taking their cue from you. And so, some very simple, straightforward things that you can do as a parent of a stressed out kid is you don't get stressed with them. So when you see them stressed out, if they're working over a problem or they're stuck on something and they're just mulling it over again and again, there is zero harm in stepping out of the hurricane. Yeah, there's no reason to jump in there when they're like, I can't find my shoes. We're going to the movies. Where are my shoes? I can't. You can go, I don't know. And I'm sure you'll find them. And then you can just sit and you can just be. And your kiddo will whirl all around you. And eventually every storm burns itself out. And then they will stop and everything will be okay, right? So just keep, and then the same is true for adults with other adults. So I'm sure y'all have been at work and you're in the cubicle and you see your colleague run by like their hair is on fire. If you join the hair fire club, then you're going to feel stressed out. So as humans, we are communal creatures. We take our cues from each other. If one person takes off running, generally somebody's going to take off running and go, wait, Why is everybody running? And so, yeah, we're communal creatures, and that's normal and is totally fine. But when it comes to stress, you have to be very thoughtful about how you handle stress because other people around you are looking, and especially with kids. And that comes as it's in particular relief, stark relief, not relief as in, that feels good, but relief as in there's a distinction. Ooh, look at me using homonyms. It's particular stark relief in the case of divorce. And so when kiddos are either going through a divorce, like their parents are going through a divorce, or they're kind of managing who they are in the context of divorce, I work with the divorcing parents to really, really lock down and control how they're responding around the kiddo, because that particular kid is going to be on high alert with what caregivers are doing and how they're feeling. And so, yeah, so just keep all those things in mind. But absolutely, at the end of the day, do your best to manage your stress around your kids.